Hi, welcome to this week's episode of How I Choose to Live My Life. This has been quite the week, and it's been incredibly fun and everything. Maybe if you haven't been tuning in, we did just make just a short little episode just for fun, Ken and I both, and all those episodes are on our YouTube channel. Today I want to pick up where we left off, and it was we were talking about our life in Fawcett and so forth, and what I left off with was, yes, my mom had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And the type of cancer that she was diagnosed with was called estrogen receptor negative. She was diagnosed with that after just shortly, maybe about 5 months after starting hormone replacement therapy. She was experiencing a lot of menopausal symptoms. She found it very hard, and she has done like many women, decided to take that therapy, and it really just didn't respond well to her body. It's not something that that she should have taken in the end, we found out. But what she did do, she had an incredible outlook on that diagnosis, which was very helpful. My mom went through a lumpectomy. She did chemo, she did radiation, and after quite the fight, she did put that cancer in remission. And in fact, I remember her saying to me that she had just begged God, give me 10 more years. Be with my family, be with grandchildren, watch everybody grow and learn. That's what she had asked for. And so she really did. She put much focus into being well and being healthy and looking forward to life. And my mom did that. She did that. She was incredible. She really embraced the whole outlook of look good, feel good. And my mom was very worldly. She had a lot of friends. She was all over the place. We had a cabin out in Fawcett, like I've talked about. But my mom and dad, my father was, he was in the food ingredient business. And so he had a plant here, but there was also a plant for his work in Ontario. So he also had a house there. So there was a house in Ontario, there was a house here in St. Albert, there was our cabin in Fawcett, Alberta, and then they traveled all over the place, and they had many friends and lots of family, and so and grandchildren. And it really gave my mother and father a lot of focus. And you know what, during that time, that was really great, because we were out at the store. Ken and I were running the store, and like I told you, we had Alexander, and we've had Paige, and we've got the twins, and it was a lot of work. I did nurse the twins. Okay, so I would nurse the twins 2 at a time, and I was upstairs, and it was a lot of work for me before. Having the twins, it was different when I had Alexander, because he was already, 2 when we started the store, and then older when Paige was born and was able to help and things like that, and could be down in the store. And we really implemented Ken working in the store, me working in the store, and our children. I've been very blessed to be able to, because that's all I really ever wanted to do. I wanted, before, when we were growing up, talking about the good old days was moms were homemakers. When we wrote on our resume, that was my job, that was my career. I'm a homemaker. And what that means to me is I take great pleasure in being a wife and being a mother, but also being a helper to my husband. And also, when we did this, we wanted to have a mom and pop grocery store, old-fashioned general store up north, and a wonderful place to raise our family, which it absolutely was. And so we did have to sort out all the kinks, and don't even think that I'm trying to say that it was easy. I mean, sometimes I'm not sure if somebody might be opening up this store door and Ken and I are yelling about this or that or trying to come to an agreement because we lived and worked in the same place. So we had the children there, we had everything going on, and we're still a married couple. We're very young. We don't know what we're doing. But we were willing to do life together, work together, and raise our children together. I didn't want my children to go to have, not that there's anything wrong with it, and don't even think that that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying for my choice, how I choose to live my life. That's what this series is about, right? How I choose to live my life. I wanted to live and work and raise my children in the same place. So when we decided to build a grocery store, liquor store, bakery, post office, and be that general store in the town of Fawcett, it was amazing to be able to work and live at the same time and be part of this amazing community. We had to sort out what roles did we have. Ken spent a lot of time in the post office. Then he helped with all the liquor store stuff and baking and grocery orders and all kinds of stuff. It was an incredible amount of cooperation that needed to take place in order to find our roles. And for me, it was I cleaned a lot. No, I was not asking Ken to clean the bathrooms, but he was also not asking me to sort the mail. So we sorted out different things like that. What am I good at? What is my talent? Where's my passion? And truly, I love to clean. I love to clean. So, cleaning the store and organizing the store and merchandising the store and marketing and different things like that. I had my talents and Ken had his talents. And we really worked very well together and still do to this day. And it was a great thrill to be able to raise our children in that setting. The school was right in town, the senior center is in town, the church is in town. It's a wonderful little town. Maybe at the time there might have been 100 people in the town, and then there was everybody in the surrounding areas, and then coming south to Westlock, and then even more south back to St. Albert. So it was a wonderful, wonderful place. And the children also, Alexander and Paige, they were in the store. And when people, if we're working at the till, our children didn't just come and go, hey, Mom and Mom. No, stand in line, behave, have manners, maybe help somebody. Instead of waiting for me to talk, I'm going to ask Alexander now or Paige to help somebody go and take out their groceries, or help somebody with the door, or maybe help somebody get a coffee, or Les and Jean Ritchie. They were wonderful people. They were in their hundreds. 2 people over 100, Les and Jean Ritchie. He would drive her to the local store and have this wee little piece of paper that had their little grocery list on, and he would come in and sit down at the table, and Alexander would take the list and go get her groceries for her. And it was a different way of life. It was all kinds of super neat. He would sell pop, be the pop worker. So he would just get he would get pop, he would set out like a lemonade stand, right? He would put a pop worker stand out on the front of the porch and pour pop and sell it for, actually he said it was for a coin. It was supposed to be for 25 cents, but he didn't understand that. So if you just handed him even $1, like a loonie, he would just keep that instead of giving you back 75 cents, right? So it was fun. We had a lot of great times. There was also a lot of hard times. Like I said, like I mentioned, we lost a lot of our family and friends living during that time in Fawcett. We met so many different people. One of my most favorite people that I will forever love and mention is Elmer Nelson. He was an absolute joy and one of the most one of the people that kind of taught us the most. And there's a phrase about that we must be loving and kind to the least of these, what the world sees as the least of these. Be most kind. He was amazing. I absolutely adored him. So then there came a time when, because the store, once we had created it, it was 7 days a week. From Ken was in the store at 5 a.m. starting the bakery, then moving on to the post office. Then we needed to put in all the orders for the grocery store, the liquor store, the bakery, the post office, all the other things, whether it's be, yes, we sold cigarettes, and we had magazines, and we had confectionery, and we had movies, and we just had everything that you can imagine. And so it was a real working machine that you could not turn off. And once we had 4 children, a set of twins, I'm nursing upstairs, I can't get downstairs all the time. We were just begging God for a buyer. You know, please, somebody want this type of lifestyle and want to buy this store. And there came a time when we were blessed with a buyer, and Milton and Aranka Herman, and they decided to purchase our store. And here's the thing, I might think about how that might have looked and why we wanted to sell it to them and how my perception was, might not have been the same thing, clearly, as it turns out to now. But at the time, I'm looking at how this is an amazing experience for us, and we get to sell our store to these people who it's going to change their life and hopefully change their health and their habits and everything and be an incredible lifestyle for them. It didn't quite turn out that way. And it's okay for me to say that. This is my series and whatever. This is my perception on things. I think they could have done better and they should have done better. We absolutely loved our life in Fawcett. I miss my life in Fawcett. We took great respect, and it was a pleasure and a privilege to provide that service for that community. And it was unfortunate that the people we sold our store to did not do the same. That was unfortunate, and I'm going to say it publicly. I want to leave right now. This is how I'm going to leave it, that we are selling the store, and we're wishing them well. And we did take time to train them, and how they use that training was up to them. This might be quite fitting, though. And this is again from what I've mentioned before, Mariners Church, and it's just a brief thing from a brief mention from here from April 30th, today's note. It says this: Samuel Dickey Gordon once said that the only safe assurance against such a tragedy is to have a fresh touch of God daily or even hourly. My blessed, fruitful, and victorious experiences of yesterday have no lingering value to me today. In fact, they can be swallowed up or reversed by today's failures unless I see them as incentives to spur me on to even better and richer experiences today. I want to leave you with that. That's huge. Let those experiences of despair and everything spur you on. This can make you or break you. Choose it to make you. I do. And I'll see you next time where we picked off or left off. Okay, it's live and that's how we talk. See you next time. Bye now.